In this episode, I talk about the best way to split your time. Welcome to episode 129 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show, where I help creatives like you to master your marketing. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into it. Guys, I'm finding increasingly as I do my little intro spiel for each episode, I think I'm turning slightly into Eminem. There's a lot of hand gestures going on, a lot of kind of rapper hands. It's not intentional. I just can't help getting a bit animated because I love doing this show for all of you.
This question is from Isabella. If you had to break down your day into percentages, what is the ideal ratio between content creation, social media engagement, post preparation, and caption writing? I know everyone's situation is different in the real world. I'm curious about a perfect world breakdown.
Hey, Isabella. Tough question, to be honest. In a perfect world, I have daydreamed about what if there were no time constraints and I had infinite time and I could get everything done on the to-do list. Another way of thinking about this is the whole Black Mirror thing, if you've seen that series, where you can clone yourself. And so imagine if I had infinite Toms, scary prospect, I know, just getting everything done, what could be achieved. But back here in the real world, your question was pretty heavy around social media. I was kind of expecting what's the day split between, content production, customer service, pitching clients, business strategy, like all these things. But what I was hearing from your question is what's the split between like posting on Instagram, and posting on Instagram, unless I've misconstrued it. So my main advice with like how to split your day, first of all, none of us are going to have the same exact split. That's first and foremost. I can't give you an exact set of ratios because it's going to be different based on everyone's situation, where they're at in their journey, what they're actually doing, and what their goals are. But I do think there needs to be a disproportionate shift into distribution and marketing and essentially getting your stuff in front of other people. And this is something marketers have preached for years, but the ratio they use is the old like Pareto's principle 80-20 rule, where most people spend 80% of their time producing the content and then 20% of the time sharing it. If that. Most creatives I know actually are like 99 or 100% of the time content creating and then nothing more. What you actually want to do is the opposite. So I know some very, very, very good marketers where they will spend roughly 20% of their time, whether that is like doing the client work or it's creating the products or it's doing the social media content or whatever it might be. That's actually the minimum amount of their time. And then 80%, the vast majority, goes into distribution. And the difference can be huge. So this is like, imagine I write a blog article. If that takes 100% of my time, I get a trickle, few readers come through and check it out. And that's kind of bit disheartening. Imagine if suddenly I spend 20% and I still create a good article, but then I spent 80% getting it in front of people. So maybe I go on Facebook groups and I share it in there as a helpful resource. Maybe I connect with people and ask if they share it on their Instagram stories. Maybe I get out there and I do some like guest blogging and I link back to it. Maybe I appear on podcasts talking about that topic. And then when they're like, where can we find you? I'm like, well, go back over here and I've got a comprehensive guide all about this topic that I'm an expert on. When suddenly I spend the majority of my time actually amplifying that content, that's where things really change. And this is something it took me a lot of time to realize. I think, honestly, back in the day, I didn't really understand marketing that well. So when I heard that, I was like, well, that's good in principle, but I don't really understand the actual nuts and bolts and the work that goes into that distribution. But as always, you learn from doing. And so I would say, first of all, adopt that mindset to everything you're doing. You've got your creation process, but you really need to think how you're going to get it out in front of the right people. And then I would just jump in. I would try everything. Maybe guest blogging doesn't work for you, even when you try it 20 times and persevere, but maybe something else takes off. And we're all different ultimately. Right now, we're seeing huge success working with affiliate partners and people sharing stuff and making commission for us. That's awesome. So that's something we're really scaling up right now. Disproportionately, we're putting time into that because we recognize that if we're just to kind of build it and they will come mentality, no one's going to come. That's not how it works. That's not marketing. That's not real life. So that would be how I would encourage you to redefine your split. It's not spending more time on captions and less time on like the post creative. It's putting all that stuff in a box, doing it well, but doing it quickly, and then actually allocating the bulk of time to getting it out to the freaking world. Question of the day. Be honest. What is your split? What's your ratio between creating and distributing? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.